I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Take two, Mr. Billy Nelson. Yeah, not many people said it would go 12 rounds last night. Quite a few people that I spoke to said it would go 4. Joshua will stop him in 4. Joshua will stop him in 6. You said it would go 12 rounds last night. With a comfortable points win for Joshua. I hope you put a bet on it, William.
A small one. A little investment.
A small investment. What was the odds on that then?
92.
92, not too bad then. Yeah, listen to me. Yeah, great. Joshua come off 2 back-to-back losses, and in Eddie Hearn's words was a solid performance, not spectacular. Your thoughts on
it? Well, he's correct. It was not spectacular. I wouldn't say it was solid either. It was a lackluster performance, wasn't it? Really, he done what he had to do against a B/C class fighter. But he got the desired result. You've got to remember he's in with a new trainer 8 weeks, but he still had the frailties he had against Usyk. That when he commit himself, punching at a target rather than through the target.
That's the thing. But do you think, like, I think I spoke with somebody about it as well, like, these giants at the heavyweight division, you're talking the 6'6" Joshuas, the 6'7" Wilders, the 6'9" Furies, the Bacoles, maybe, that are over that 6'6", around that 6'6" marker. When they're fighting these smaller guys, the 6'2", 6'3s, they're punching down. They can't really put the weight on their legs to get the punches through. Is it because Tyson Fury said that his toughest fight was Steve Cunningham? Obviously, Joshua's toughest fights was Usyk. These smaller heavyweights. Do you think they're causing these big heavyweights problems, and that's the reason why we're seeing these performances from the big guys?
Well, as I explained to you the other day, they're punching over your punches, and it's a blind punch. You can't see the punch coming. Mm-hmm. That's why, as I explained to you again, we obviously never listened, that Mike Tyson was so successful with his hooks and uppercuts.
Yeah.
You will listen eventually, Andy.
So you're saying that Usyk and Franklin are Mike Tyson?
No, I'm saying no. What I'm saying is that the punches are coming over. I know. When he's coming down, his chin, his shoulders coming away from his chin, which means he's not protecting his chin, and they're coming over the top of his lead hand or backhand.
Yeah. After the fight as well, Joshua basically almost called out, well, kind of like a semi-call out of Tyson Fury. Maybe did call him out. And again, I've seen some pundits, some people say maybe one fight more with Derek James before he steps in the ring with Tyson Fury. Do you agree with that? Is that something you want to see? One more fight to gel with his coach and then go in with something like Tyson Fury?
I personally, on a professional basis, I'd like to see him have one more fight, but he's all about business and the pound note, by the sounds of it, him and Eddie. So I think they'll go straight for the Tyson Fury fight, which is a mistake.
What happens in that fight?
Tyson will school him and stop him.
Is that just based off the last 3 performances? Obviously, the 2 Usyk and Franklin.
So. Yeah. Aye, very much so. Apprehension. You can't be apprehensive against Tyson Fury. Top fighter.
Did you last night when you were watching the fight? Did you want to see the old spiteful Joshua that brought in the left hooks after the right hand and the uppercuts? Is that sort of like what you were half expecting last night?
No, that's why I said it'd go to points. I knew he'd still be nervous. I knew he'd still be apprehensive. That will not leave him now, unfortunately. That's there. It won't go away.
How does he get rid of that, Billy? Do you know? Do you think does he need another spectacular knockout? Maybe against a Dillian Whyte. If he fights Dillian Whyte next, does he need that spectacular knockout in the 3rd and 4th round to get that confidence back, to have that mean streak, that spitefulness that we've seen?
With the fullest respect, I think it could beat knockout Dillian Whyte nearly every time they fight. He's just a level above Dylan, in my opinion. You know, I mean, he comprehensively spanked him in the first fight, didn't he? I know he took one left hook, but one left hook doesn't win you a fight. You know, I mean, he took a bit of a beating in that fight eventually. So he's going to find things difficult. The way his mindset is just now, I think.
When you look at this landscape, I've seen that Alex Arthur. Somebody sent me the tweet that Alex Arthur sent out saying that Bacoli beats Joshua. Obviously, you've sung from Bacoli hymn sheet long enough, and everyone knows where you stand with Mark Bacoli because you've trained him for the last good 4 or 5 years. You want him to get a shot. Alex Arthur seems to think that Bacoli beats Alex Arthur. Obviously,
Alec
get
Arthur seems to think Alec Arthur will beat Alec Arthur. Alec Arthur seems to think Bacoli will beat AJ.
Is that what I said? What did I say there? What did I say there? Repeat that.
Alec Arthur seems to think he'll beat Alec Arthur.
All right, that probably does. But Alex probably does think he can beat himself.
Only when he's shadowboxing in front of him, man. He's beat him quite a few times.
There we go then. Yeah, Alex Arthur sent a tweet. Let me listen. This might even get cut. Now fuck it, it's raw. Alex Arthur sent out a tweet saying Bacoli will beat Joshua. Right? He obviously thinks highly of Bacoli as well, and so do you, obviously. So you spoke about it before, the whole Rumble in the Jungle anniversary and stuff like that in Africa. Yeah, your thoughts?
Ben Shalom's Sky and the Congolese government would be all over the fight with Anthony Joshua and Kinshasa to celebrate an anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle, which is one of the most iconic fights in the history of boxing. But you know, obviously, if the Tyson Fury thing's there, that would take precedence over anything like that. But
yeah. But as a selfish boxing fan, though, Billy, I want to see the Fury Joshua fight. To be honest, it's just as a selfish boxing fan, that's the fight that I've been wanting to see for the last few years. But again, if you think about it, when you look at the Joshua's Nigerian heritage, Bacoli's from the Congo. Two big African heavyweights going at it, and both of them, I think, will bring the best out of each other, especially on the anniversary of such a huge event in the Rumble in the Jungle, man. I think that'll be something special also.
Well, definitely. I mean, let's be honest. Fury and AJ have had their opportunity. They had negotiations. They fell through. There's a very good chance it could fall through again. But AJ will have many options, won't he? So will Tyson. So we'll just have to stand in the queue until it's our time, and then make the most of it when we get our opportunity.
It's a long queue. If it's not a long queue, but it's a long wait. Of
course it is, because the organisations and promoters are getting away with rematch against mandatory opponents, and that should not happen.
Well, Bill, I won't keep you much longer. I won't keep you much longer. But one final one on Bacoli and his fight in Poland. What kind of statement does he need to produce to stamp his name again in this stacked heavyweight division?
We need to win.
Just to win.
If you keep winning, that's all that matters. Win. Whatever means.
Yeah, and another one, but I do want to mention this because as we are Scottish and we're involved in boxing, we lost an absolute legend yesterday in Ken Buchanan. I mean, I went through his archives last night a little bit and watched some of his fights again with Jim Watt and Laguna and the highlights and stuff like that. So, yeah, just quick thoughts on Ken Buchanan.
Well, I was actually going to bring it up to you just before you mentioned it. Very, very sad loss for Scottish boxing, and I'd like to send my condolences to his family and friends for a fantastic fighter and an even greater man. It was nothing but an absolute gentleman. The several times I met him, it was sorely missed by the Scottish people.
Definitely, man, and I agree with that. I can just remember being in this company and the stories he would tell. I mean, there was no greater storyteller in Ken Buchanan when it came to his fights with like Duran And he told me a story once about when he fought for the European title against the Italian guy. I can't remember his name, and the story he told behind it. I'll butcher it, but I don't want to butcher it. But he done a great. It's just funny the way he told the story. So it's definitely a loss, just not for Scottish boxing, but for world boxing, I believe.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've had the fortune of been out of box over in Madison Square Gardens, and as soon as people knew you were Scottish with your accent, first thing they said, Ken Buchanan.
Mm-hmm.
We went into a few of the gyms over there, up in the walls. Ken Buchanan, unbelievable, unbelievable, and that was a good 25, 30 years later. You know, well, iconic figure over there because he done it the hard way.
Yeah, he done it, man.
He done it like Usyk and the away man's corner and away man's hometown all the time. Imagine a man like that not being able to defend his title in Scotland because there was an ice hockey game on. That's quite hard to believe, isn't it?
An ice hockey game, which isn't even a national sport in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how many times he fought in Scotland, Billy? Out of 69 fights, do you know how many times he fought in Scotland?
I think it was 2 or 3, wasn't it?
4 times he fought in Scotland. Not once in Edinburgh.
Times.
3 I think 1 in Hamilton, 2 in Paisley, and 1 in Glasgow. Not once in Edinburgh.
Oh, no, I know he fought Jim in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
2 Paisley, 1 Hamilton.
You know, he had a record of 61 8 or something like his record.
61 and 8,
61 8. But you could really take away the last 4 losses.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You know, because it came back after his prime time. So 61 and 4, what a phenomenal record that is. And Andy, that was when boxing was real boxing. That was when you had one champion. That he was the top dog. You know, I mean, he was a fantastic fighter.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You know, and I'm reading the article with young Josh Taylor today about how Ken was his hero and that, and it's a shame for him as well. I feel sorry for the wee man as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He's lost a very good friend there, and Ken.
Yeah, definitely.
Condolences.
Yeah, definitely, Bill. I agree. Yeah, on that note, mate, I just want to send my condolences to the McCann family as well, and just say thank you to you for taking time out your Sunday as well to give me this interview. And no doubt I'll be up the gym soon. In fact, I'll be seeing you in Poland actually. So if I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you on the plane.
Oh, so I'm so looking forward to that.
Yep, coffee's on you, big man. Coffee's on you. Cheers, Billy. Speak to you soon, mate.
All the best.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,